We built the largest solar plant in the world, in the Mojave, and there was a green-on-green battle. There were folks that were supportive because they thought climate change was the most pressing issue of our time and we should be building as much solar as possible. And there were those that were fans of terrestrial creatures and they didn't want any disruption. And frankly, I totally understand both perspectives on it. I do think, though, that the scale required in order to address climate change is one that most people still don't quite get. And there are going to be compromises. It's just a fact. So if we want to address this issue, if we want to get ahead of it, then we're going to have to build at scale, whether it's rooftop, whether it's ground mounted in the desert or by local communities. We got to do it. One other thing I want to answer the question that was asked. I think the other area, so this whole conversation has been focused around energy, and I think that's a critical component to fighting climate. But one of the reasons why I changed from energy to food recently is because I think food and our food systems are an untapped area when it comes to addressing broader sustainability issues, but especially climate. So if you think about what's happening in some of the southern hemispheric areas where they're clear-cutting forests for ag purposes, right? That is having a bigger effect actually on climate than the energy uses. So, and food, and people are starting to get so wise to that around food. And I think for careers, food's a really interesting place for y'all to look. So, I'm putting a plug in, and that's actually the reason why Clif brought me over from energy. They said, we're seeing what's happening in food right now is what happened in energy the last 10 to 15 years. So we want to really leverage your experience and your skill set to kind of help see through that change. So.